But I'm gonna tell you my true tips. 3 years, 4 years, whatever, of collecting. How I use PriceCharting.com. PriceCharting.com is a cool website. It's a good website to my opinion. But they have to update. A lot of their objects, a lot of their stuff is not like really fully up to date. That's one. And then number two, immediately I'm gonna tell you what my issue is with PriceCharting.com. You took out the option in the search engine to look up game companies. Should have sent you that maybe as an email. But y'all did that for a reason. I don't know what y'all reason was for. I feel like it was to like keep information, like basically that would be a lack of information then. Okay, it made me categorize things better with that. Like if I wanted to look at what was really great products of that company. That's my biggest pet peeve I would say so far. That price charting did. Um, I don't know how many months ago they did that, but I didn't like that when they took out from the search that you can't look up companies in the search engine. So aside from that, how to use pricecharting.com. Let's go. Um, biggest change is one option. Okay, when you look up a game system, you can scroll down, and when you scroll down, they'll have, let's say for the start, they'll have three regions: America, PAL, and Japan. Um, the next let's say thing that's gonna help you narrow down what's up with games maybe to consider is there's like a way you could flip the table of context in that category of like from high value to low value to biggest change in value. So I would say is not to really look at from the top of what's the highest value games, but to really look at the bottom of lowest value, because they had their category of question mark objects for each system is placed in the from the low to high category. Um, that could dramatically like put you on key points of games like maybe you could want to find an object for cheap still that is still not really flowing through the marketplace like that, or could already start being expensive objects but it's still like under the radar. So when you look on price charting for each system, look instead of from high to low, look from low to high under each system. Biggest change is another option. So here's another thing about regions, y'all. There's games that come out in America that might not come out in Japan. That could be expensive games in Japan. There's games that come out in Japan that don't come out in America. That could be expensive in America. There's games that come out in PAL, Europe, that might not come out in both regions. That could be expensive in both regions because it only came out in PAL. So it takes time to like look back and forth and here and there, maybe what could be exclusives to each region, and then maybe could really be good games as well. So that's the truth of how I would say how I use pricecharting.com based off of the regions. Mr. Gimmick was what only came out in Europe and only came out in Japan. It just finally came out in America. It's like a $2,000 cartridge, I think. That's the point to like Price charting showed me about Mr. Gimmick. Price charting showed me about the Pocky Rockies for the SNES and the Game Boy Advance. Price charting showed me about a bunch of games. Okay, price charting showed me about a bunch of games that, like, let's say, oh, they was doing a reprint right now for the modern day, let's say Nintendo Switch or the PS4. I'm gonna make an investment on that based off of what I'm seeing about the history of. Not even say just price charting. You could you could see a game that's expensive on price charting, then you could go over to eBay, and Amazon, and see the sell histories about those objects if it's true or not, and it is true. Not saying it's 100% true everything price charting posts in conjoint with the other pages, but yes, they're showing you information that can open you into learning more information. Um, I thought it was cool. Price charting listed Evercade as to be a collectible, which I really consider it to be one too. As into anybody who, if you're interested in getting physical media, video games, Evercade I think is one of the best systems right now. They're only $20 cartridges. Some of them are maybe $30 or whatever because they're going up, but like predominantly each cartridge that they put out on the Evercade is like the classics of a system. And when I mean the classics, like two or three of them could be the most expensive games on the whole system, and they put it on a compilation for $20. That's what Capcom did for the PS2 with the Capcom Classic Collection. I think I would say Part Two with Captain Commando, the Knights of the Round, and a couple of those other games. Those are all expensive games, and then they put on a disc that you could get on eBay still for 15, $20. So I'm kind of forgetting what the heck I was just talking about right now. Like I'm losing train of thought of context of what the Hold on one second, y'all. Oh yeah, we was talking about how to use price charting. So yeah, no, price charting, but then I would say what would be faster than price charting is um eBay to me. So is another one. I kind of because they showing you're seeing more on the dot like of a sell history. Like let's say you're seeing a game on sale for $5 or $10, and then you can see a whole sell history of like the last 20 sales of it is like 30, $40. You're knowing what you're dealing with, right? That's it. That's how you know what's the value of the game right there. So I'ma still definitely use price charting for trying to see what's up about things. But it was something else I was trying to refer right now. Oh, video game library. Basically, you gotta train your eyes. Each console might only have 50 games. That's like the best games of the whole thing, and it's not the AAA titles. And the faster you can train your eyes for those games, then you won't even need to all you'll need to see is like how I use Twitter for games that's coming out. Okay, now this is one game to buy. This is one game to buy. This is one game, and like forget the rest of those. Like over time, if you look through like PlayStation One, PlayStation Two, you look through Game Boy Advance, 3DS, like certain gens of consoles, you'll start to realize like a lot of games are generic, and then there's certain ones like nah, this looks really nice. This is like a really good game. So that's how I would aside from like sidetracking, just saying how to use price charting. That's how I would explain how like to learn how to collect good games. You know, you could go on people, doing videos like, and then I'm showing you games here. They're like, yo, go check this out right now. Go check this out right now. But at the same time, I would say to try to like see games, and then maybe look them up on YouTube too to see like how they play and whatnot, and like look for like really good animation. Look for good animation. And in the modern era, I would definitely say 2D games in general. A lot of the games that have been coming out for the Nintendo Switch, I feel like they wouldn't put that out back in the day. They wouldn't let that be released. That who knows if they want to go back to those Christian ways in the future. Like, nah, we're not gonna put out violent games no more. That would make whatever they did in this pocket time skyrocket. Or I'm just taking a guess there. So like that's my intake with the price charting. You gotta look. It's not to just look at when you're looking through systems. It's not to just look at just U.S. It's to look between U.S., PAL, and Japan. Because there's games that stay in those regions that are maybe very good games that if you could pick up on them at the right time, as in bottom at the low, you're beating you're way ahead of a lot of other people. Like when it comes to certain games I'm buying, I look at it from an angle of I can only see a person who has a warehouse. This is a small room and it's not like that much stuff, but the I don't buy a lot of games, y'all, but it's certain games I'm going after, and I will buy 5 or 20 copies. That's how serious I look at those games. If I wish I could have understood this from the PS1 era, I would have had 10 Rule of Roses. There was a time when that game was like maybe $15, 10, $15. Every game goes down like to 10, $15, y'all. For every era, $5. Almost every game from 5 to $15 for every console generation that has ever existed. The average game goes down to like $5 to $15. And if you have the eye, you're stacking up on hundreds of dollars for $5 to $15 investments through these decades. All you had to do was the Nintendo and Super Nintendo era. And your average person who worked for 20 years or whatever, and they're only coming out with like $100,000 and change if they are. If you would have made an investment on the side with some physical objects like that, you would have had maybe an extra 200 and change. If not, maybe having a couple silly willies that would have been in the 50K per. Shh. Where's the whatchamacallit? 1 minute. Buy this game now. Alright. Pete, most of your game collectors want to keep showing you these kind of objects when they're already $200 to $800. Oh, do you got this game in your closet? But if you don't, the game is under $20. It has a $200 game on it, and for some crazy reason, it's been undervalued beyond 15 years. It's been undervalued for 15 years for some weird reason, and the real reason I'm gonna say to y'all as a concept is because there's somebody who got a dungeon full of this shit. They were buying these for $1. I'm telling you, I would buy 1,000 of these for $1. And then as soon as these go back, not to say back, as soon as these go up to the 100, 150, $200, 1,000 times 200, bro, 1,000 times 150, and all you paid was $1 or $2 a piece for these cartridges. That is insane. That is an insane percent profit. Let's look at that. 150 times, if you get it, and they printed thousands of those units of that game. So all you needed was 1,000 units of it. Times 150. $150 for $2,000 investment. That's what I basically would say. You'll come out for a $2,000 investment if you got 1,000 units, and then they turn around to like 150. You got 150 racks before taxes. This is real, y'all. What do you think video games? I'm not talking about GameStop and Best Buy. What do you think regular mom and pop video game stores around the country is doing? The ones I'm talking about sell game consoles, brand new games, and they'll buy used games from people. You thought they was making like a little bit of money? It goes the same thing for your corner store. It goes the same thing for your corner store. For milk and juice and chips and a sandwich. It goes the same thing. This is business. Straight up business. So money don't sleep, bro. What if I told you right now is the time that you're supposed to fill out applications for certain things? Right now, I'm telling you, I'm like, there's another thing most people don't know across America, y'all. This is supposed to be about PriceCharter.com. I'm not even. I can't give you so much gems. Right now, when it comes to a lot of important forms to fill out, it unlocks at 12 o'clock in the morning. Right now, around 12 o'clock in the morning to 1 a.m., it happened with the Final Fantasy game from Squaresoft. They did it for like, they unlocked it at 12 a.m. in the morning, and I think it ended at 2 a.m. to buy the game for $60, and that game is worth a couple $100 right now. Money don't sleep. So when you wake up at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. tomorrow, there's some forms of business you just missed out on that's going on right now for this past hour. Best Buy had a crazy clearance, and I went to sleep 2-3 hours before it happened the other day. I was tight about that. There was at least 5 to 6 games I wish I could have bought that would have only been like maybe $60. It was like $10, $15. Oh my god, the Mega Man Battle Networks for $19. So I bet $20 a piece, and them games is like $40 everywhere. That just happened like 2-3 days ago. At 12, at around this time right now. I guarantee you somebody with a bot bought those out. So, dude, the deal I made at the end of September was around this time in the morning. Maybe an hour before or something like that. It was around this time at night, and I was happy the person replied. Told that person I will immediately link them, no problem, next day. Linked them next day, paid them that money, and kept it pushing. So, these be the times where some business can be conducted actually out of nowhere. Yeah. This is the time where Dracula strikes. I wish my parents could have known this when I was younger. What went down 2020 with that video game boom, we would have did this 2 decades ago. I didn't know growing up I could have bought Sega Saturn games for $5. And Super Nintendo games and whatever games. And they said, well, I stay getting piles and piles and piles on them for like less than $100. I didn't know. I never knew that. $100 bill could get you boxes of games. 2 decades ago, I could have had an entire room filled with games, maybe under $1,000. That's insane. That's a lot of money if you hold that down right now. If I could go back in time, take out the biggest loan I could take, put it into Bitcoin before, wait, like, let's just say if I could go back in time 10 years ago, put it into Bitcoin, put it into a couple stocks. Like, if I could go back in time and speak to myself, put it in a couple stocks, put it in Bitcoin, put it tell him to start doing this right now. What I've been doing for these past couple years. Because then I would have had double. I would have double the amount by now, if not triple. I would have had double the triple the amount. So that's gonna be a wrap for this episode. Um, please leave a like, follow. Thank you for your time. It's much appreciated. Helps my page grow. And I hope maybe some of that information can help you. Cause I'm not saying maybe I'm the one of the best collectors, but I think I would consider myself maybe top 80-ish, if not higher, a higher number than that. I kind of feel like I consider myself top 80-ish, and I don't got no full collection of nothing. But like, and I would say that like the top 15 and like upper, they got like the craziest stuff. But like a lot of like the 70% of people and down don't really got like what I got. So at the beginning of collecting, y'all, it was flea markets, it was offer up, and then I stopped with flea markets. Out here in New York City, like I had a little bit of luck with flea markets, but mostly the internet. Predominantly, most of my findings and buyings is on this phone. His same phone I'm doing this live on is the same source I found thousands of dollars worth of games on. Not even on the computer, on the phone. And not even spending hours, not spending tons of hours and none of that. Long in the beginning, the first 2 years maybe, yeah. I was spending a lot of hours. I just feel like I got what I want so far. So, if at times when it comes to me looking for retro stuff, if a nice posting pop up that looks worth my money, I immediately go for it. Anything 3 times the value of what I'm paying for, I go for it. Simple as that. That's even another format how to explain how I would say I buy games. If the money I pay, the value of it all together, adds up 3 times, I'll buy it. I'll say simple as that. I'll buy it. So my last final was like over 800 for 180. I'll buy it. I think it was like $5 a game. Something price though. It's just worth it. I got Mega Man Legends 2 now, and Armored Core Part 1. A copy of Parappa the Rapper. So I would say out of that pile, Parappa the Rapper, Twisted Metal 1, Tekken 3. I wish it could have been some RPG in that pile. I'll be honest. I wish it could have been maybe at least one cool RPG in that game. Like, I would like one of those Alundras. I would like some working design, man. So, that was a nice buy. That was a nice buy the other day. I'm very appreciative of that opportunity. I got 3 Sega Saturns. Maybe like 2 or 3 Dreamcasts. Couple GameCubes. No controller for the GameCube. Only system I'm struggling to get a controller. I got some cool stuff so far. I got some early prediction investments I would say I made. And then as soon as they go out of print, we'll see what's up when it becomes scarce. We're not even a year to say, but like, I think they say by summertime, Xbox Marketplace is gonna be shut down for Xbox and Xbox 360. So, got the hiccups. That's what's going on right now. Got the hiccups. Got the hiccups. My nose is stuffy. I need some Afrin. If I was maybe to refer of an object, I need some nasal decongestant. Um, yeah, yeah. I'm very appreciative. I got to figure out about collecting physical media by now before it ended. That would have been whack. To never know this. That would have been whack. You know, I don't want to be like the rest of the sheep. Now basically I got a little bit of a storefront for a while. Yo, dude, just two knocks me out. Just two, just give me two and I'm done. So that one right there. Woo, yep. But I gotta remove that one. That's that's too controversial. It's too controversial. We're gonna keep that as our little secret. Shh. That's how that last one you put. That's our little secret. I'm gonna delete that one. Ooh, man. Wish that these hiccups will go away. This is what happened when you play with meth. Ugh. Oh man, the hiccups is so annoying. I just be chilling, bro. Can this shit turn on? Let's see. Telling y'all. I'm telling y'all. And it is turning on. I still got a little battery power. Just to show y'all what I mean. This is a 200. The original print of this is a $200 cartridge. And for the past 15 years, for somehow, 15 years ago, this was a fucking dollar, bro. That is not supposed to be a $20 game right now. 15 years later, that this is not supposed to be still under $20, bro. Look up Mighty Final Fight on Price Charter. Mighty Final Fight NES value. Google Mighty Final Fight NES value. You'll see what I mean. Just for cartridge alone, and for somehow that's just been under the radar. So for me, your average collector will buy one cartridge, but smart collectors buy two and better, two or more. And then if the turnaround is serious, you get serious money back, and you still got a copy. Shit. I wish I could have had a sealed copy of Zelda for the 64 or Mario 64 sealed, or even that. I wish I had that game. I never had Conkers actually. The Xbox version is going up in price actually, as well. I wish I had a copy of that game. Even just to have the car. I would like to have. You know what I feel like was an underrated game, and it's still cheap in price. For the 64, Jet Force Gemini. I feel like that's highly underrated game. I don't know why. I feel like it's like a slap in the face to Rare games. I feel like Rare, like any game Rare makes, should be an expensive game. Yo, dude, dude. I would say don't. Ah, kids don't notice, y'all. Peace to you, bro. Peace to you, and thank you for even being here for a moment in time. Thank you for even being for a moment. Breaking up, but yeah, kids don't know. Kids don't know. Kids and old folk don't know, y'all. Okay, this tastes good. Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing, but your average kid don't know that about this going on. Even your average young adult don't. Your average human don't even know about this. Your average human don't know about that valuable physical objects. Yeah, that this is gonna be in the future a niche category that for the smart people who obtain good physical objects over these next decade or whatever, or next 15, could come out having some great money in their possession. The milk helped my hiccups, y'all. Yo, physical objects, y'all. Physical objects. Physical objects. Physical objects. I'm telling y'all, it's like one of the. This I call this a poor man's investment. I don't know if I came up with that maybe a year ago or longer, but I call the concept a poor man's investment. How you could take $2 or $5, but if you buy, it's not just buy any video game, but if you buy the right games, you could show it's you're making $2-3 investments, and you could turn it into like 50s and $100 bills and better, as long as you buy the right stuff. So this cartridge, the original print is 3 games on this. The original print of one of those games is a $200 game right now. And eventually that cartridge is gonna be the next one. Yeah. So there's a lot of video games. I kind of as a collector, I didn't try to go after buying expensive games I can't really have money like to obtain. I went the opposite way. Buy cheap games that are just like really seriously good games. They'll eventually go up in price, because that's the same thing that happens with any games that's like expensive right now. Def Jam Fight for New York. Let me look that up on like back like let's say a couple years ago how much it was. All right. Okay. So Def Jam Fight for New York. Let's just say right now, on price chart they're saying it's like 147, but back in 2014, the game was like 25 bucks complete in box. Yo, it might have been 25 bucks or 20 bucks. Yo, bro, I'm right. So yo, for a minute, you could have bought it for like 25 bucks. Back in what year it came out though? Okay, let me look at the year real quick. It came out 2004. So around 2004, to keep it a buck with y'all, let's say 2 years later, you could have got that game maybe for 20 bucks, 10 bucks by even then. 10 years later, you still could have got it for 20 bucks. Um, Maybe 15, 14 years later, they're showing like 50 bucks, but I'm gonna tell you, you still maybe could have got it for 30 bucks, dude. Up to 2018, I'm telling you that game, 10 bucks, 5 bucks, over and over and over again. And then look, boom, when they hit this 132 per disc or 140 something, you only pay 5, 10 bucks for stacks and stacks and stacks of them. And then do the math. Now you got thousands of dollars just for that. You see, it says one, and it's one sale per day, one sale per day. So somebody who working on got the budget, you buy the right games, and then when boom, this type of stuff happens, you cash out. Cash out. There's a game. I think it's a fantastic game that ain't gonna be cheap, and it's only like 20 bucks on Amazon called Demon Throttle. I think it's called. It's like an NES two-player shmup, and it's kind of adult content. I would consider it. Um, I think that's gonna be $100 game later down the line. Demon Throttle. I think it's called. It's like 20 bucks on Amazon. It's still a new. It doesn't say new game like it just came out this month, but it ain't. I don't think it's more than a year old. So it's a lot of games you could buy for cheap, and then you hold them down for a couple years, and yeah, you can have yourself a couple racks and games. The GameCube era was a fantastic era to collect in. I'm telling you, every generation of game consoles, after a couple years, yeah, you get them 5 10 bucks. So fucking those Zeldas, 5 to 10 bucks. You gotta buy 60 of them, 100 of them. 100 Smash Bros, 100 like whatever was those games, and then all of them jumped up to 75 100 bucks. Those paper Mario's, 5 to 10, all of them at a time. Eventually hit like maybe 10 bucks. They just get rid of them, and then now when they boomed up, you would have been cashed out on a daily basis. Sell these on Amazon and eBay, or like any physical personal place you want to sell them to. That's some business. If you can get your hands on Mario, legit Mario cartridges, it sells every day. It's just how to get that 1,000 or 10,000 cartridges. It sells every day. It will sell for the rest of your life. Mario cartridges, Pokemon cartridges, certain kind of games, rest of your life will sell for the rest of your life. If you could buy them dramatically low. Don't go take out a loan for 100 grand, 10 grand, or whatever, and pay full price and then think what I'm talking about. You're gonna be holding for a long time, long ass time. But But if you could buy legit Super Mario World cartridges, Super Mario 3, Super Mario 2, Super Mario World cartridges for under $5. Well, I already say Super Mario 1. But like any other ones, for under $5, you got a good deal. Super Mario Kart. Any Super Mario Kart, you can get under $5. If you get tons of those from the Super Nintendo, any console that they came out on. Any Castlevania under $5. Any Mega Man you can get for $5. It's a lot of games. The Ratchet and Clank's eventually gonna go up. The Omniwashers is eventually gonna go up. Metal Gear Solid 1 is a 40-something dollar game. Part 2 and Part 3 is under $10. Those is gonna go up to 40-something bucks. I got multiple copies of those. The Dead Spaces is gonna go up eventually. It's mad horror games. There's tons of games through all these eras. Those Resident Evils that came out for PS2. The Resident Evils that came out for PS3. All the gens games is cheap. So actually what I'm talking about right now is still in preference to this price charting thing. How to use price charting. Try to look for good games that are still cheap. Because to buy a game that is expensive, like you see an expensive game, and then it's gonna stay going up double, triple, and quadruple. You're taking a higher risk buying an expensive game, and how long it's gonna take to go double, triple, quadruple, than getting really good games for cheap prices and then try to stack those up into the hundreds. And then if those games become properly expensive and whatnot, now you got tons of games instead of you just got. There's a ton of collectors, bro, y'all, that's gonna have 20 games or 100 games, and I'm gonna have like a couple hundred games. Like, I got 20 Pocky Rockies. I got 17 Wild Guns. There's a bunch of people who's gonna just have one. That's my point. When it comes to later down in the future, if I'm the person that's still having possession, or 9 out of 10, I pass it to a family member, God forbid, whatever happens to me. Your average other person on YouTube is going to show their collection of games. They're going to have one. Whoever's in my family is going to have 17 of the motherfuckers. If they didn't sell maybe a couple of them. And then they have still 10 of them while people just showing you they have one. Because there was a certain pocket of time, like over this past year, the summertime Black Friday from GameStop. That's the 2 times I hit them. The summertime Black Friday at GameStop, and the Black Friday they have for November. That was the 2 times when I bought stacks of them for the $10, and then they just went up to 25. And if they go back down to the 20 for the 10 for 10, I'm gonna do it all over again and buy as many as possible again of those Wild Guns. If their Pocky and Rockies go on sale for I don't know if I'm gonna buy those. I might buy those for $10. I'm not sure if those go for 10. There's maybe another couple games I'm kind of looking on, trying to see like if they have a sale, and if they do, if GameStop can have a sale of some good games for $10, they'll keep my attention. I will say like that. They'll keep my attention. I'll buy them. But if those games stay over the $20 mark, I'm good. Because a lot of the games that they have on their page that I'm interested in, I already have from buying off of Amazon. Yo, that was a killer sale for them Astro Knights. Amazon had a sale for Astro Knights, buy 2 get 1 free, and it was basically listed for $20. So that was for $10 basically, and I went and bought as many as I could get. Cause average listed is easily 20 something bucks and up for that, and ain't no listings for $10 for that game. Majority of the games I buy brand new or whatever, whatever, there ain't no listings for $10. There ain't no listings for $10. For the predominantly majority of all the games I bought, even the ones I've been kept for months right now. There's certain games I have that were $100 or 100 whatever bucks, and they even went down in price. I'm still not even getting rid of them. I got a weak, I got a weak Sega Saturn and Dreamcast collection. I got a weak Nintendo, Super Nintendo, 64, Sega Genesis. Talking about like where I definitely lack games in. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64. Really, I wouldn't really collect N64 like that, but I would like to have Conkers. I would like to have maybe just a few games. I got a couple okay games for the 64 in my possession. I got Zelda 64, but I don't got Majora's Mask. I had Majora's Mask. Back in the days, like a fool, I traded it or sold it for some money or whatever. Regretful, but I would like to have a little bit of like maybe like 100. I wish I could have collected a long time back and have like a nice little maybe 100 pieces of Nintendo games of dope Nintendo games. Like I probably would have had some of the most expensive Nintendo games if I would have got to collect it. Like known about collecting games and messed with it maybe more than a decade ago, if not a little longer. Then have some dope Super Nintendo games. I would love to have had Earthbound and a couple other games. Sega Saturn, Dreamcast. I need Rival Schools. That's one of my favorite games ever. I still don't got that. I want to get Fear Effect 1 and 2. Um, Sega Genesis. There's over these 4 years, like those are some pockets I'm really lacking. I have ton of PS1, ton of PS2, ton of PS3. I didn't really collect in the PS3 realm a lot to be honest with you. But really, I collected more in the PS4, and then in the Nintendo Switch, I just went even more heavy. So I didn't really see a lot of games I like for PS3 like that. Um, One game I bought 2 copies of each actually. That a lot of people don't know about is the Retro City Rampage and Hawaii Shakedown. Yeah, a lot of people don't know about that. That was printed and it's only like I think $25. Um, so I went and bought some copies of that because that was like a little special thing, and it's still lingering around on the developer's website for sale for like almost beyond a year, I think, if I'm right to say. So that's a little crazy, but a lot of people don't know about that disc for the PS3, and that's gonna be a pretty penny later down the line for anybody who would like to, I guess, have that. But yo, I kind of was excited that Nintendo, if Nintendo wound up doing what all the speculations is of the 2 consoles, one physical, one digital, I'm excited for that. That's telling y'all a transition is coming for all 3 consoles. A transition is on the way for all 3 consoles. And yo, it's likely gonna go full digital eventually, and that's gonna be another era when it comes to price of physical things. Okay, when we go full digital, y'all, there's gonna be an issue I think for a lot of people. Netflix is about to, for some reason, if they say they, if I'm right, there's some news right now that Netflix is about to raise the price again. That's gonna go for all the other streaming apps as well. There's gonna come a time where people are like, let's say, okay, Right now, people are happy with having like 4 apps, and they're only paying like $7 or whatever. There's gonna come a time, y'all, where you see, okay, you see how people are paying $100 to use PlayStation and Xbox and whatever for the whole year. You're paying over $100. People are eventually gonna pay $100 and better for Netflix and all these and Hulu and all these apps. And when it starts coming to them numbers, certain um you really a lot of people still ain't gonna be able to afford to do that. How many people you think is gonna be able to pay 400 and better a year for 4 apps, paying $100 yearly for each app, or if it goes to 150? How many people you think is gonna be able to pay for having multiple streaming apps on their TV? There's gonna come an era, y'all, where like it's kind of gonna be in a forceful way to y'all, the prices that they're gonna be putting on you in the digital era. They're doing it right. They're doing it with your food, and they want you to get rid of physical media. They're already doing it to your food, unless you farming and got your own food. They're already doing it to your food, bro. You have no choice but to pay the raise in their price. Streaming is gonna do the same thing. The video games is already doing it. You don't think the TV show, the Netflix and all is not seeing how much they didn't. You like, not to stutter. You don't think they all saw that same $150? You don't think they're seeing them numbers? If you had them apps, like let's say for like the 1 or 2 people who might be watching me right now, if you had them apps, if you was the owner, I mean, of those businesses, and you see these game companies charging 100 and change a year, and you only charging, nah, you probably charging around the same thing, actually, or something close to it. So but it's time to sell. I would say when it comes to like maybe like stocks and certain kind of things, it's like wait till you hear like hysteria of something that you have an investment in. Thank you, man, and peace to you. That's, I think, would be a good time to like cash out. So you buy low, and then you hold it until it's all over the place on the news, and like it's mass hysteria skyrocket. Then cash out. I wouldn't say cash out all, but I would say cash out a margin that could help you maybe for a good period of time in your life of other steps that maybe can help you gain with that money. That's my outlook. I would say to when it comes to making investments, and yo, I hope food could go a little bit down in. Well, I hope it don't go down in price for fake food for us to eat, but for real food for us to eat in the future. I hope we could go a little bit back down in price, but I don't think it is. And yo, I would say for older people and for younger people too. Yo, for younger people, and you might be working or whatever to try to keep up with the Joneses of life. You wanna meet a girl. You wanna keep. I would tell you just keep up with your health, your knowledge, and getting your money up. Not Don't try to keep up with chasing any girls, any friendships. Keep up with what's going on right now in the next couple like decade or 5 years to a decade, and those decades to come, it's gonna keep getting harder. So every other, let's say, year or day is like a little bit of a pocket of an opportunity you could figure out how you don't have to deal with hardships later down in life when money keep going up in price for these things going on now. Cause like yo, it didn't go up a quarter or 50 cent, y'all. It went up like a dollar 50. Like it's kind of spooky, y'all, when it comes to the value of a dollar right now in America for certain things. That's another way I would say I look at video games as a golden freaking physical video games. I look at it as a golden opportunity. It's like they're giving you free money when you're buying this stuff for cheap compared to the other things you need in life taking the money away from you. So I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna come to an end. Thank you, y'all. Have a good night. Be safe. Be positive. Peace out, y'all.